Hello and welcome. A new year is here. We are in 2020. Woohoo! And you know what a new year signifies. Yes, it's that time when we get out the pens and paper, we start writing lists of our best intentions, our new year resolutions and our goals in order to make our lives at least get off to a better start in the new year. Don't know about you, but I've started writing my lists and goals. But hey, I don't want to talk about your goals or your resolutions today. I want to focus on your audience's goals and resolutions. Hello, my name's Sally Social, and I help business owners and entrepreneurs really understand the digital marketing landscape, and in particular help them create social media marketing strategies. So if social media is something that really confuses you or it's just not working for you, then please subscribe to my channel and hopefully you'll pick up a few tips and tricks. In order to subscribe, hit the red button below and don't forget that all important bell. And that will mean that you'll be notified each time I release a new video. So you've probably started writing a list of goals yourself. Well, I hope you've been writing at least your business goals down. That's something that I'm really passionate about, and I'll leave that for another training. But in this social media training, I want to take the focus off you and focus on your audience instead. Now, whether you have a January detox plan or not, the chances are that your audience are creating their own lists. You know, they've got their lists full of good intentions and resolutions, and that's something I firmly believe that all business owners should pay attention to because you can absolutely profit from it. So how and why should you as a business owner tap into your audience's New Year resolutions? Yeah. Why should you be concerned with their detox plans and goals for the year? As I've already mentioned, whilst you're setting your goals, your audience are writing their own lists. And this is a huge opportunity that you can profit on. So being aware of these goals and resolutions that your audience are creating right now presents a huge sales and marketing opportunity for you. At the same token, some business owners might be quaking in their boots or feeling really worried about some of those resolutions that are being made. For instance, if you're in the alcoholic drinks industry, then January detox is probably something that you're really worried about, particularly when it comes to a sales slump in January. But it's not all bad. I see it as a huge marketing and sales opportunity. Now, I am a glass half full kind of gal. So I just want to review some of these opportunities with you and give you some, excuse the pun, but food for thought. The quickest and easiest way to get my message across to you now is to use some examples. So let's pretend that you're a weight loss coach, okay? So some of your audience are going to be planning to shed pounds that I've gained over the last part of 2019, the previous year, during the month of January, and I really need some help to do this. This is a huge opportunity for you as a wellness coach. So some of the questions I'll be asking you are things like, are you creating free content that will help them define and reach their goals? Are you giving them some tips and tricks and ideas that will help them create strategies in order to achieve that weight loss goal that they've set themselves? Are you actually sitting down with them or running a workshop? Maybe it's a free webinar to help them set those goals and then supporting them through that journey. It's a huge opportunity. And quite often what business owners do is start getting into sales mode. So they are jumping out the gates come January, selling health programs, diet programs, all kinds of different products and services to people who are going through this turmoil, this emotional turmoil, to shed the pounds. And these poor people are being bombarded with, as I said, products and services all the time. However, if you took a different approach and went to these people, so went to your audience, not with a sales program, but with some free help and support. And that can come in the form of all kinds of different guises. You could offer them free goal planning sheets. You could give them an outline strategy of where they need to start and the program that they need to go through. You don't have to sell something to them. Once you've got them on your radar and you're having a genuine conversation with them and you're offering them all kinds of free value and support and advice, it's then they start to love you, and it's then you can start to invite them to come and check out your products or services. So many business owners make the mistake of jumping on the seasonal bandwagon and start selling to a cold audience. Big tip, don't do that. Similarly, if you run a restaurant, it can be any restaurant. What might be some of the goals that your audience are planning right now? Yeah, and how can you turn them into a sales and marketing opportunity? Now, you might be thinking, oh, January, February presents a sales slump. It's cold, it's dark, it's wet outside. People are doing a little bit less in terms of consumption. They're trying to fight the flab and all the rest of it. And they want to perhaps rein in some of the spending that took place in December. But listen to this. You've got to think outside the box. Now, I've already heard somebody say, I think it was on the television, that they are going to start in the month of January a monthly date night because they don't spend enough time with their husband or away from the kids, and they don't spend sufficient time with each other. They want to keep the spark alive. Now, what can you do in order to help nurture that process? What can you do to sow the idea in their mind? What can you do to actually bring them into your establishment during January? Other things that you can do as a business owner is create a challenge. Challenges work really well during this time of the year. They tap into the emotional needs of your audience and they can offer value at the same time. So for example, could you develop a challenge? Now, it could be a series of emails or a mini course that helps your audience achieve their goals during the month of January and February. It could be a series of individual and inspirational quotes that you're popping across social media. It just helps to raise your brand awareness. It could be a series of free webinars or workshops that you could offer. It could be hosting an event within your store, for example. You've got to think about some of the challenges that people are facing and help them nurture that challenge. So I received a challenge the other day via email, which really got me thinking about this, and it was from Goodreads. And what they did was they launched an email challenge tapping into their audience's goals and New Year resolutions to read more. Perfect. So all you need to do is click on the email that they sent you and it takes you to a page on their website where you can commit to reading so many books a month, and then you submit your challenge, and then each month Goodreads will send you a selection of books to read based on the quantity that you have set as your goal. Perfect. That's such a good way to start building engagement with your audience out of a New Year's resolution that they've set. And here's a knock-on benefit from that. You're getting people to your website, you're driving more traffic to your website, which means if you've got a pixel on your website, you can start to remarket to these people throughout the rest of the year. So double whammy there. So have a think about that. Is there something that you can do to tap into the mindset of your client base or your audience during the month of January? Again, if you're on Instagram challenges work really well, and giveaways. So what can you do to tap into your audience there? All you need to do is set the challenge and ask your followers to comment and tag a friend, and it makes it shareable. So go wild and use your imagination. Okay, so here's another example, and this one is for all those amazing businesses out there who might be in a niche which is perceived as, let's say, not so healthy in January. So let's say you're the manufacturer of some candy or some sugary types of products. Is there an opportunity to therefore create a sugar-free or a vegan option? Probably too late for this year, but think about it for next year. Or do you just skip this January period, down tools almost, keep everything pretty basic and focus on other occasions? So you can start to think about ramping up and being first to market in February for Valentine's Day and then in March for Mother's Day. So don't see it as, all doom and gloom. Think of the opportunity, look for the silver lining around the cloud. So hopefully I've demonstrated that New Year can present so many sales and marketing opportunities for you, even though your initial response might be, oh my God, we're going to enter into a sales slump because people are reining back and detoxing and everything. It just doesn't have to be like that. I mean, for example, social media detox is a big sort of buzzword that's been bouncing around at the moment. But, you know, and I've heard people say they're going to go off social. Am I worried as a social media manager and marketer? Not at all. Social media has become so ingrained in our psyche, our behaviors, and our society that the majority of people will probably fall off that social media detox bandwagon within a few weeks. We see it year in, year out. I mean, I do have a friend who has completely detoxed off social media. It's lasted a year, but now she's suffering from FOMO, so it's decided to come back. So I hope that's been really useful. Let me know in the comments. But before I leave you, here are a couple of actions to help you along the way. Write down the goals and the resolutions that your audience might be writing down right now. Then don't panic and start to brainstorm, develop ways of mitigating some of maybe the negative ones, but also capitalizing on the sales and marketing opportunities that those present. Now, if it's too late to incorporate these into this year's planning, again, don't worry, but put it in your calendar to consider for next year. So for January and February 2021. Remember, some resolutions don't equal a sales slump. In fact, they represent a huge profit opportunity. So I hope you found that really useful. I hope you were able to at least take away a few ideas that you can either implement this year or next year. Please tune in to our video next week, and I look forward to sharing some of my tips and ideas.